What's the crack, lads? Welcome back to the channel. Just a quick one because this is a re-release, but for new players or of people who have missed out on this pack before, it is a player of the year pack. You've got Rodri, you've got Vinny, and you've got Bellingham. And of course, Rodri is definitely up there with one of the best DMFs in the game. I'm going to show you the build that we've been using with him and what I would recommend even now, especially now where the gameplay is at, right? But he's just a beast. Does he get to the level of Patrick Vieira as the ultimate DMF? I don't think so, but it's just because the game really does favour Vieira. But in saying that, Rodri, I've come up against him a few times. He's always one of the most difficult. You guys can follow along on the guide here on the bottom left of the screen. These are the stats that you're going to be looking at. The big difference between Rodri is he can actually play a killer pass from the back if you're good at the game and able to break the play. So also we have got Bellingham, number one on the list of centre midfielders for a lot of people. Now, a lot of people sleep on Bellingham as well, but this box-to-box version of him is an absolute beast. Excellent stats, as you can see the build there. 13 into dex and 7 into defending. That's kind of where you're going to tweak this card to how you favour him, right? If you want him a little bit more defensive, you can do that. I like having his speed at around 85, his acceleration a little bit higher, but it depends if you want the 85 speed or 85 acceleration, 90 speed. 85 speed is probably where I would go, and 85 acceleration is always interesting. But you can get him a little bit more balanced here once you don't go too crazy with the stats and try to make him something that he's not. He's just a really good box-to-box player. I genuinely think that Pirlo, this Bellingham is kind of slept on. I don't see many people using him. Maybe they will again now that this pack is out. And then last but not least, probably the player I've played with most is Vinny, right? Vinny's definitely one of the better left wingers, kind of slash cut-in finishers. Now, he doesn't have blitz curler. He doesn't have any of those really, you know, unbelievable overpowered skills, right? He doesn't even have edge cross or anything like that. But blistering pace, brilliant balance, excellent dribbling. We've also thrown on a couple of skills in him. Fantasista as the booster. You can just copy this, lads. This is from, obviously, the re-release pack. Scissors feint and heel trick, not the best skills. Obviously, we're working towards a couple there, one-touch pass, whatever. But he's got his ball roll, advanced ball roll. That is the build that you're going to see on the screen. I think that what they're going to do now is, I had heard, you know, in the last video that I did, I had heard that they were going to be bringing out more Showtime cards and re-released Showtime cards because obviously there's a lot of new players. These cards, I'm probably not going to, you know, spin from because I've already had the chance to spin from. Now, the one thing I will say about Vinny is he's definitely one of the better players to cut in from the left. And obviously, if you're playing Rodri and Bellingham in a role with all of these players here, okay? This is OC's account. Vinny is definitely one of those cards that can really cut in from the left or right and be able to shoot and do everything. Even though his passing skills aren't great, you can stun and pass, you can, you know, L1 triangle, you can do a lot of that. So let me know what you guys think. Are you going to spin for these? It is good to see if Rodri can, you know, hold his own against Vieira now with the current gameplay. But let me know what you think.